chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salute and happy Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday of the year. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are ready for 2026. I don't know what it will hold, but we need to be ready. Let me say hi to all of you here in the chat, starting with Big Al. Big Al present what Tuesday thoughts await Troy today. Liquid Lunchers, have a great stream. My friends wonder if I can find Gowroom on Instacart.
So that means he saw Max Miller's show.
Yes, he did. You can find Gowroom, but it's probably not going to be the same kind of Gowroom that you could make yourself. I don't recommend making it yourself. I would just go for what's commercially available these days. Actually, revisit Max Miller's video on how he made Gowroom, and I think he made a very similar suggestion. That voice you heard over there calls me the love of her life. That's Netter of Netter's Network. Hello, my dear. How are you doing? What are you sipping on?
I'm doing well. I'm continuing with my electronic cleanup. I've got most of it done. I've got just the apps on my phone left to go through. Then I'm planning on doing some baking today. And I am sipping on, well, it's in my Calf Pow cup, so it must be Calf Pow.
There you go. There you go. Get yourself charged up. As she says, like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment, gift a membership. It's only $2 a month to become a member and literally keep this channel going. It's the only way I can continue to justify what I do here. I'll be listening. I'll be in listen mode only. Listen only mode for a bit, but like engaged. Thank you so much, Lynn Green. Yes, we did have some atrophy. So we are still very, very close to that 100 member goal. We're making no progress on subscribers. I don't know what to say about that, but I am still very hopeful that we will hit that 100 members by the end of the day tomorrow. I really do believe that. So let's try to make that happen. Let's see. Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube and Fluff Chick Productions. Welcome. Good to see you. It is lunchtime, says Curtis Selby, the tired midnight blogger. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Glad you are here. Jonathan Conroy says, "Hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show." Yes, please do. Please do. And good afternoon. Thank you so much. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, "Hi, hey everyone. Happy Tuesday." Absolutely happy Tuesday to you as well. So I'm wondering if anyone has any what do they call those New Year's resolutions that you're thinking about that are on your mind? Wondering if you're planning anything for the new year, any plans and schemes that you hope to see to fruition?
Well, I know I've got 2 at least. One, I want to get in better shape because I'm from COVID. I'm still recovering. I've gained weight. I don't like it. I don't like the way I feel.
Yep.
I don't like the way I look. So I want to get back in shape. And technically, I want to lose about 20 pounds because I've gained at least 18 or so since COVID. And I said, and for me, it's heavy. For anyone else that might be about 134, 138, whatever, they might be like, oh, that's normal, but not for me.
Yeah, you got to remember, she's a little tiny thing. So these kinds of goals are proportionate. If you are 6 feet tall and, kind of really overweight, 20 pounds is not a lot. If you're a little tiny thing, 20 pounds is
because
huge.
I spent most of my life being under 100 pounds. And even when I was pregnant, I gained 20 pounds and lost it immediately. So for me, anything over 110 pounds is heavy. And I can feel it. I can just feel the extra weight. And I really don't like the way it feels. So one of my goals is to get in better shape. And the other one is to be more organized. Because when I was cleaning my office, dang, I had a lot of papers that needed to be filed and shredded and all that. And it's like, oh my goodness. So now my new rule is when I bring mail in the house, it's either it's garbage because it's like adverts or whatever, or it's something that immediately needs to be filed. So I'm going to take an action on it. I'm not going to be building up stacks of papers I need to go through at the end of the year and either shred, throw out, or file it again. I'm not going to get into that.
Mark says, new job, new boss, or both. Yeah, I've seen that coming for you, my friend. I really have. Good luck to you on that. Losing weight is definitely, it's a synergy with Netter. I think we both have to get our eating under control and get a little bit more active. But a lot of my goals for the year are going to be very channel centric. You guys all know that I'm starting a new Doctor Who stream on late Sunday nights going into Monday morning. So I hope that goes well. Live from Sparkwood in 21 will be returning next Tuesday, 1 week from today. Yeah, so looking forward to that.
I have a weird question for you.
Sure.
Okay, totally non sequitur. One of my members, their channel disappeared.
Yeah.
Completely disappeared.
Same here.
But they had joined as a member. I'm wondering if I'm still getting their membership payment every month, even though they no longer have a YouTube channel, because like my membership, when I'm a member of somebody's channel, it's right out of my PayPal. So I wonder if this person is still paying for my membership. And
here's the question: did it go for more than a month? Because probably what happens is they stop processing any payments from you because you no longer have an account, because you no longer have a page. That's the way it should work.
I think they've been a member for about 3 months.
But that would make it very interesting, because then how can that person cancel a membership if they don't have a channel? That's a concern. But yes, if your channel gets yeeted, that means everyone that you were a member to loses you as a member. That's a problem too. So let's see.
And Jonathan Conroy, I put a question for you in the chat if you wouldn't mind taking a look, please.
Was it Jonathan Conroy or was it JPRPH1?
No, it was Jonathan Conroy. Remember, I keep track.
Okay. And okay, so today is Tuesday. You guys had you were very, very chatty yesterday with all the topics that you were bringing up and things you wanted to talk about. But today is the day that I like to focus on those things. Usually on Monday, I've got my own thoughts set aside that I want to talk about, and I try to keep focused on those and save the things you guys want to talk about until today. So where are you guys at with those? What do you guys want to talk about? Are there any shows that you have seen that you thought were really great, that you've become disenchanted with, things that you're looking forward to in 2026, things that you are very reticent or concerned about for 2026? Kind of interested in that.
And here's a question for the chat.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you, like it takes you a while before you start writing 2026 instead of 2025 into the new year?
That's a great point. One thing that I'm looking at that's on the horizon is, so I'm seeing that there's been leaked Avengers Doomsday X-Men trailer, raising the bigger question, is this enough to rekindle fan passion? I could almost say I did gift 20, but YouTube did a few upgrades to current.
Okay.
So I see. Instead of actually gifting memberships, it upgraded people that were
like your lowest tier to your mid tier.
That's what we weren't seeing. Okay, thanks so much, Jonathan.
We were getting really confused because it's like, okay, how come it's not showing all of them? Thank you so much for clearing that up, because I wanted to make sure that, one, if you did actually give 20, that we were getting the 20. If you hadn't actually done 20...
And see, I had seen a couple of those, and I was like, how does that happen? Because that person was already a member. That means they got upgraded from Barfly to regular. Is what happened.
Because that happened with someone where they said like they were gifting like 10, but they actually had only gifted like 5.
Yeah,
and we made sure they were only.
And it wasn't the same situation we were talking about.
We wanted to make sure that we're charged for 10 when they only gifted 5. So we wanted to make sure everything was good. Thank you so much again for the 20 gifts.
That was incredibly generous of you. And again, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't being charged for something you hadn't intended, or what the case was. Anyway, so I'd love to know if there's any Marvel fans or former Marvel fans. If you are like me, you were all in on the early Marvel Universe films, and you have seen it precipitously fall off and just kind of walked away from the Marvel Universe. So I'm pretty sure those are the demographics that people are looking at and saying, would they come back if we brought back the X-Men? I think it's too little too late. I feel like the X-Men should have been, there should have been a plan for the X-Men ever since the Fawkes acquisition. The fact that it's been, how long has it been since they acquired Fawkes and they have not yet integrated the X-Men? That's flippin' ridiculous. That underscores there was never a plan in the first place. They have no plan for what they're doing with the MCU, and for all the new characters that they've introduced. Why the hell are you introducing a bunch of new characters that nobody cares about Everyone is waiting for you to use the damn X-Men you already have.
Right?
I don't care what others think or say. I am looking forward to Mandalorian and Grogu. That's awesome. The more I hear about it, the less interested I am, particularly because, and I think that people that have been following Mandalorian and Grogu on the streaming service probably will be okay with the show, because this cinematic production is really just the next season of The Mandalorian that they had planned, that they're going to tighten up into a theatrical release. That's all this is. For Disney's sake, I hope that it does well enough in revenue for them to realize, hey, when I release things in the cinema first and then move it to my streaming service, I make more money. I make all that cinema dollars, and then we still have it on our streaming service, and people want to come see it there too. Remember what I said about multiple revenue streams. Double, triple, quadruple dipping. You release it at the theaters, you license it out to another streaming service, you put out physical media of it, and then you move it to your own proprietary archive, is what I consider to be most of these companies' streaming services. Grateful today, end of the year happy ending. My CPAP machine was just paid off by insurance, and the motor failed right after. Replaced yesterday, free. Luckily, still in warranty. So fortunate. Yeah, that is lucky timing on that warranty situation there. The only episode of Mandalorian that even got close to being competent was season 1, episode 1. It was downhill from there. I understand why you say that. I would say that the first 2 seasons in general were pretty okay, but I would say the biggest problem was the pacing. There was so much filler in all of the seasons of Mandalorian. If they had taken the first season of Mandalorian and condensed it down into one feature film, it would have been so much better. It would have been so much better. Same thing with season 2. Really. Not looking forward to Starfleet Academy. Nobody is. Nobody gives a flying fig about that. It's just keep in mind, those shows were already filmed. It was all contracted already. And it's a zombie series. It's a dead franchise walking, like so many others, I'm afraid. Mando's an idiot, and the Baby Yoda is a cheap marketing gimmick to get people coming back from the failure. No, well, okay. I think this is way oversimplified, because go back to the implementation of Grogu. They had no idea what Grogu was going to turn out to be. That was meant to be a 1-season MacGuffin and done. The only reason Grogu is still around was because the fans went apeshit over it. And that's evidenced by the fact that they had no marketing plan for it. You had fans out there on Etsy making stuffed and plushed and custom action figure Grogu for almost a year before they started licensing it out and started making license crap. And now they flooded the market with it to the point where most normies are kind of over and done with it. It's kind of lost its appeal. And the storyline for Grogu is meandering because they don't know what to do with him, since there was no original plan for him. So there's that. I would also argue, I don't know that Mando's an idiot. this is what happens when you create a new character. I do think that the Mandalorian that we saw in the first season was intended to be Boba Fett. That I'm sure that without being able to know, this is all speculation, but we know they had a Boba Fett film planned, and certain puppet masters over at Disney decided, no, we want to get away from legacy characters, so let's create a whole new Mandalorian, not Boba Fett. And people liked the story just fine, but it wasn't Boba Fett. And then when they brought back Boba Fett, they'd already done all the stories they wanted to do for Boba Fett using the Mandalorian. And so they decided, well, let's go a different way with Boba Fett. Oh, that's brilliant. Bring back the character everyone likes, but turn him into a different character. Ridiculous. Project Hail Mary and Greenland 2 Migration are also ones I'm looking forward to. I've heard of Project Mary and Project Hail Mary. I know nothing about it. I don't even know what the film is about. And I have never heard of Greenland 2 Migration. I never saw Greenland 1, so I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look into that. Let's see here. Agree to disagree. Yeah. Hey, look, no, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. If you are looking forward to it, look forward to it by all means, because there are so few things. I'm telling you, I'm not talking about it until Friday, but there is something that I enjoyed this season that is going to be a very unpopular take. That just about everybody in my chat and just about everybody, all the other YouTubers in the spheres that we all run in, did not like, are piling on and bashing, and I don't have a problem with it. So yeah, I might make my 100 members just for everyone to quit on me after Friday's stream. I have arrived. Sorry for not coming sooner. Watched another stream for a moment. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Enigma
Cheating
Severus.
on us?
Well, yeah. No. I get it. There is so much out there. One of the upsides to YouTube and streaming channels and stuff is you can watch in your own time. If you can't watch live, you watch Memorex. And by Memorex, I mean the rerun when it's not live, for those of you that are too young to remember what Memorex even is. Even like I know that Curtis Selby only has about a half hour, and then he's got to bug out. So just hit watch later, add it to a queue, and then when you have time to sit down and watch, you get caught up on all the things that you missed.
Yeah, Troy and I do that all the time.
Grogu, is that a spaghetti sauce that comes in a jar? I like that. Someone's got to do like a Grogu spaghetti sauce. It's AI generated parody.
It's frog flavored.
Yeah, exactly. I disagree. They've had experience with more before with making marketable baby versions of characters like Groot. I think in that case it was one of the few planned things in it, making it a surprise. Again, they screwed up their marketing on that then. They should have had all the toys ready to go, and they did not. Just, and the way they've completely fumbled the character since then, not knowing at all what they have planned for him. There is clearly no plan, and there never was. That's giving them so way too much credit. Greenland 2020 is a disaster thriller film starring Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin about a family's fight for survival as a planet-killing comet hurtles towards Earth, presumably going to hit Greenland. Interesting. I'll have to look into it. With the goal of reaching a government Run safe haven in Greenland. Okay, I see. So the comet's hitting somewhere else, and Greenland is the place they're going to. I get it. All right. So I think we're caught up with the chats. And since we are caught up with the chats, I'm going to get you caught up on at least what I have to promote for the week so that you know what's coming. And I'll talk about what I didn't get promos for put together right after we get back. So give me 2 minutes.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together. Every Monday night is Members Night at the movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week, an ex-cop in a futuristic dystopian Los Angeles deals illegal recordings of real experiences. When he receives a very disturbing disc, he teams up with his bodyguard friend to uncover a conspiracy on New Year's Eve in the 1995 sci-fi thriller Strange Days. Members, please join us tonight at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks.
This week on Last Call presents the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Violet Hunter has been offered the role of governess at an estate in Hampshire, but the employer, Mr. Rucastle, has a number of odd requests. Holmes doesn't have much to offer by way of advice, but Violet urgently requests his assistance when she discovers that someone may be locked away in a far corner of the Copper Beaches. The game is afoot. Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
This week on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, a girl is sent to live with her ruthless stepfather in 1944 Spain. During the night, she meets a fairy who takes her to an old faun. He tells her she's a princess, but must prove her royalty by surviving 3 gruesome tasks. Join us for the 2006 dark fantasy film by Guillermo del Toro, Pan's Labyrinth, this Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents.
We now return to our Liquid Lunch.
And I do apologize. I had forgotten to update my my Monday because we've already watched that particular film. We've got another one planned for next week, although I have no idea what it is. I'm going to have to find out from the members what we are going to be watching next week. Enigma Severus says, reading the headline I shared before, Russell Crowe said Gladiator 2 producers couldn't grasp that the morality is what set Gladiator apart from other films. Fan passion is rooted in morality. I was actually making a dissertation based on the fact that fictional works must use morality to actually make an influential mark on their audience. It's true because, and think about the opposite of that, right? Which is social media and the rage bait, right? We get pissed off by things that show us or demonstrate the opposite of morality. I do believe that when Shakespeare said, "What a noble creature is man," I do believe that there is something in the core of our personality. It's fundamental, it's archetypal, and it's in our genes. This is why we have societies today, because there was something in us that said, look, we don't just exist as an island. We are part of a community. We're part of a pack. We are part of a whatever. We are social animals. So if you harm somebody that's a part of my pack, that's an attack on me. And my first instinct is to protect, to defend, retribution, push back on the invasion. This is normal. And these postmodernists that try to deconstruct and say this is all just a construct of society. No, society is a construct of our human nature. Until you understand that, you can't understand anything else. And this is why so much of entertainment is failing, because they go on the assumption that society can be rewritten by their dogmas because it's a construct, and they've got it backwards. Society is a construct of our human nature, and you can't rewrite that. No matter what you think you can do. You can chop up the human body, inject it with things. You can do whatever you want. That does not change the DNA. It just doesn't. I love that promo. I just wish you could get away without blurring the boobies. I'm sure you do. Sure you do. But again, this is kind of prime time. So even if YouTube would allow it, I would still say, no, private member stream after 9:00, whatever. Watershed. That's a whole different ball of wax. Waiting for January 15th. Rumor the axe will fall that day. Stocking up on popcorn. The axe needs to fall for a lot of people come January. This is what I've been saying for a long time. Getting sick and tired of these people in office. I'm investigating this. Oh, really? That's like saying I'm going out to look at the weather and pretending like I'm actually controlling it or doing something about it, Did you see the fan-made fixes of Christopher Nolan's Odyssey trailer? They actually have bronze armor, and it looks awesome. I'll be honest with you, I have not been following that very closely. It's kind of head-scratching because Nolan tends to be the I gotta be 100% accurate with this kind of thing. You look at what was that? Dunkirk, right? And how he wanted to be as accurate as possible. Although he wanted to be as accurate as possible without using any CG. So he got creative with his practical effects. But unfortunately, he ends up with some rather ridiculous moments where they talk about, thousands of people on the beach, and you look and there's like 12 because he didn't have enough extras and he wasn't willing to use CG to, put more people on the beach and stuff like that. So if he's pulling, if he's pulling this kind of a thing, like a Ridley Scott type of movie, I'm done with Christopher Nolan too, then, at least for these historic films. There you go, guys. Hanging out with each other, not just politicians. The dilithium mines. Oh, that's right. You did tell me. Well, that one you have more certainty about because you actually know that that's happening. You've actually already gotten an announcement from the company that it's happening. Did anyone else think the Batman looking Greek was Achilles? Apparently that was supposed to be Agamemnon. Now, see, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I like the idea of people, filmmakers looking at characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, whatnot, and saying, what archetype is this character? What role do they fill in the, pantheon of their franchise, and then drawing from the historical representations. That makes a lot of sense for the, especially the big three, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, right? I remember when they did those comics, what was it? Truth, Justice, and Peace, right? And so they distilled those characters down to the one thing they stand for. Wonder Woman stands for truth. She carries the lasso of truth. If she was a Greek demigod, she would be the Greek demigoddess of truth, right? Batman, he says it right up front. He stands for justice. Not the law, but for justice. Superman, he wants to bring peace to the world, and then realizes that he can't, that it is even beyond him, that is too big a bite to take out of this cookie. The best he could do is inspire. He can't just force world peace. It doesn't work, even for Superman. I've been done with Nolan since Tenet. Never seen Tenet. I've heard a lot of people say it. I know nothing about it. So until I actually see it, I can't even have an opinion on it. Interesting. I'm really looking forward to the Odyssey. Funny enough, no one wants to make a movie of the sequel when Agamemnon returns home and pure chaos takes over. Good point. I think a happy medium would have worked. Keep the simpler armor designs, but in bronze, not iron. Even make it dull, reflecting how worn it was. That makes sense. Tenet is legit, really accurate, but hard to follow. Really hard to follow. I thought Tenet was some sort of a sci-fi film. Accurate to what? I don't. I guess I don't know what Tenet is about. I thought Tenet had something to do with like time travel or that kind of thing. Maybe I was completely wrong. Maybe I have no idea what it's about. I don't know. Maybe I should make that the Monday night members movie. I'll put up a poll and see if people want to see Tenet on Monday, since it's one that I need to get caught up on. Also wondering if anybody's watching any streaming shows right now. The two that I know of that people are kind of like chatting about on the blogospheres, specifically because of how often they drop, is Fallout and Stranger Things, and trying to keep track of when they come out. It's like, is it changing from week to week what day a show drops? That kind of, I feel like, defeats the whole purpose of a staggered drop of episodes. The whole idea being, must-see TV. Everyone saw it on the same day. Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley and Three's Company was every Tuesday, right? It wasn't Tuesday this week, Wednesday next week, Sunday the following week, whatever. Tenet's music and sound effects completely muffled all the dialogue. I had no idea what was going on. I'll tell you what, man. That is a big part of why Netter has me put on subtitles on just about everything we watch. It's not just a problem with Christopher Nolan. It's a problem with films of the past decade. That and how dark everything is. It's like, did they film anything, or are they just showing us a black screen? Seriously. They don't know how to do sound mixing anymore. They don't know how to do lighting anymore. It's flipping ridiculous. And then, we'll watch older shows and older films, on our various watch party streams. And it's night, but you can see everything clearly. Why? Because they film in the daytime with a blue tint over everything. It dims it down a little bit, gives everything that sepia blue type of tone to it. And everyone knows it's nighttime, but I can still see what's going on, right? And if you need it to be a little bit difficult for the main character to see, that's what acting's for. Pretend you can't see and trip over stuff, Tenet is accurate to its story. Oh, I see what you're saying. It is pretty solid, but it is very hard to follow to keep in mind. There is a good amount of confusion to follow the story. And again, if it's a time travel story like I supposed, it does take a degree of engagement and an analytical mind to follow those stories. And who was it? Someone from one of the gaming companies, one of the executives. The reason the stories have been so dumbed down is because they assume that audiences can't handle complex stories. And unfortunately, when presented with a nonlinear, very difficult story to follow, audiences always, descend to the occasion and say, I don't understand what's going on. Well, then pay attention. Get off your phone. I heard Tenet was hard to hear. Would subtitles help? Yeah, that might be your only option, but you shouldn't have to resort to that, right? The best way to explain Tenet without ruining it for you, pretend you start on one side of a circle and your miss is on the other side, and each of you share your experience on each side of at the same time. Okay, so that sounds kind of like what was the movie? It was the movie about an assassination attempt. A terrorist act. And you see the same event over and over and over again from different points of view. I think it was called like I don't remember. But you follow a main character, but then you like rewind and watch it from another character's point of view. And then you rewind and watch it from it. And each time you do, you get more pieces of the puzzle. It's not difficult to follow because you literally are seeing the same event over and over again. But what's really cool about that is sometimes you'll see background characters that don't seem to have any importance until you are that background character and you're like, oh, this is what that was about. Or you miss them because they were background characters, Subtitles help. I agree about the noise, but the mixing of storyline and keeping it accurate is tough. Yeah, exactly. Vantage point, that's what it was. Literally, yes, it was because you're seeing it from different vantage points. I thought that was actually kind of a brilliant film. I really did enjoy that. But then, similarly, another use of that kind of, there is a spiritual connection, and this one does involve maybe not time travel per se, but there's a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow called Sliding Doors. Very, very interesting movie. There's no sci-fi to it. It just follows a character in two parallel storylines based on one event in her life, one small little difference, literally whether or not she got on, whether she got to a train on time or not, the sliding doors, right? Her life takes a very, very different course, and you kind of go back and forth between the two as they continue in parallel. Very interesting. It is like Vantage Point, but time and space, and able to be reversed. So there is time travel involved. Okay. That's the impression I got. It is a good movie, but it is deep with morality, which most films are missing these days. And I analyze chess to relax. So maybe I just like to, yes. I'll give you enough. If you like, if from the way you're describing it, Enigma, I would recommend a time travel movie called, what was it called? Darn it. I'm drawing a blank. The movie is about two guys that are working. I don't remember what the project is they're working. They're working with magnetism and something, and they accidentally discover time travel. And the way time travel works that they've discovered is that within a closed system, if you put an object, it will continue. It breaks the relativity between what's inside the box and what's out. So if you were to get into this box, you would experience time passing. And when you get out, wait, how does it work? So there is, you're basically creating a box in which if you get into the box, you go back to when the machine was turned on. So if you start the machine, right, this box, separating it from time, go about your day, do something like check the stock market and see what did well that day. And then at the end of the day, you go and you get into the box, you go back in time to the beginning of the day, and then you can get out, avoid running into yourself, because you don't want to mess up, cause any paradox. That's what it was called. Wasn't it called Paradox? I think it was called Paradox or something like that.
Wow.
No, Primer. It was called Primer. That's what it was. Very, very complicated, because it starts out with a simple concept of time travel, but then you got two guys trying to use it. Yeah, see, I got it just before the delay. So thank you, though, Big Al. That was a good one. That was a really, really good one. And that one's a complicated one, too. Very, very complicated. Because then you realize you have multiple loops happening and trying to keep track of what was happening when, and realizing that, again, some little thing that happened, some sound you heard, in the wall or, in the rafters or whatever. Someone's like, do we have rats or something? Oh, you realize that, somebody's doing something. It very much like the time turner in Harry Potter. Yeah. Yes, it was like vantage point, time and space are able to be reversed. It is a good movie. Yeah, okay. I'll have to check that out. Vantage Point. Yeah. I love that movie. The Prestige was also a really good one. Prestige was really good too. Prestige dealt with replication, but I need to search that up. I feel like I have seen it. Maybe About Time was a time travel love story. Love that one. I forget. I'm pretty sure I've seen About Time, but I don't remember it or who was in it. The Prestige is oftentimes confused with. There was another movie that came out the same year. It was The Prestige, and there was another one, a period piece about a magician, and I can't remember what it was called. I did just rewatch a time travel movie from my childhood, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I remember not liking it as a kid, though. Now I see it as some pretty funny humor, even if there's still some strange character choices. So I believe what you're referring to is they had made a movie of Mr. Peabody and Sherman, a feature-length film. Keep in mind that Peabody and Sherman was a series of shorts done during the Rocky and Bullwinkle run. So there's this is a long run. Us older people know Peabody and Sherman from years and years and years ago, and it was a humorous take on teaching history, kind of giving you the broad points. Anyway, I loved Peabody and Sherman. I did not see the movie that they made based on those. And we have Penny. Good to see you, Penny. Very encouraged you dropped a note on one of my videos yesterday. I love that. You guys don't realize how much it encourages. Lynn Green does this too. She'll, even sometimes when she's here, but she can't stay or she can't, participate in the chat because she's doing something else. She'll come back later and she'll leave like a whole bunch of comments, some very deep stuff. She gets into comic book lore and stuff, and she really challenges me. I really enjoy some of her comments. I rewatched it mostly because of the Trojan horse clips from it. I've been seeing recently. Yep. I would also encourage you to check out Fractured Fairy Tales as well. The Illusionist, that's what it was, with Jessica Biel and Edward Norton. I also enjoyed that one. Yeah, it wasn't as good as The Prestige, but I liked it fine. It was good. I had forgotten that Jessica Biel was in it. I do remember Ed Norton, though. Introduced a younger Dudley Do-Right with the Brendan Fraser movie last. Oh, yeah. I remember that. I remember Dudley introduced a youngster to Dudley Do-Right with the Brandon Fraser movie. Yeah, but then you have to go back and get all the cartoons and, oh gosh, now I can even hear. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. All those great cartoons from when I was a kid. I was happy to find Fractured Fairy Tales on YouTube. Yep. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you got to be careful on YouTube because YouTube has a lot of commentary videos, and some of them are very, very interesting, and some of them will just ruin your childhood. Let's face it, there's a lot of things that I saw as a kid. Heck, just going back and revisiting some of them maybe isn't such a great idea. I did that with Speed Racer. I picked up a DVD box set of Speed Racer and started watching them again. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really hold up as well for me now. As a kid, watching the same story over and over and over again each week was just fine. Now it's like, can we do something different with these characters? Can we get some character progression, something? No, that's not the point of this show. Lynn Green has the Rocky and Bullwinkle box set. There you go. It's funny that they show Odysseus as a high-pitched short guy. Homer describes him as being shorter than most of the Greek heroes. Those are the kinds of little details that they throw in that, you don't think too much of as a kid. You just think it's funny. Oh, the hero's a short guy with a high voice. And then when you start studying it, you're like, oh, he really was a shorter guy than most of the average heroes. So they weren't screwing around. They were exaggerating, but still, yeah. Boris Badenoff, right? And then when you get older and you hear about Boris Godunov, you're like, oh, I see what they did there, And Natasha are still favorite characters I enjoy. Absolutely. I need to find Underdog and Tennessee Tuxedo. Absolutely. Yes. OG Speed Racer was a sociopath. Well, no, he was a dumb kid. He really was. He was brash. He didn't think things through sometimes. I actually enjoyed Speed Racer live action movie. Would you believe I haven't even seen it? I've been wanting to see it. I've never even seen it. And from all the stylistic choices in it, looks like they were on the right track, pun intended. Anyway, guys, I find it ironic. I started out by throwing out, what are we looking forward to in 2026? What's been good in 2025? And yet we somehow tend to fall back to these older nostalgia things, right? It's like, is there nothing that's as good as? No, they're not putting out good stuff. Now Tired Midnight Vlog's bringing up C.S. Lewis. Had a short story that he never finished about Menelaus. He was thinking about Agamemnon and engraving Agamemnon. And envying Agamemnon's loyal wife. Wow, yeah. So unfortunately, if you look at progressivism and its stated intent, it sounds positive, looking forward, right? Progressing, right? The problem is that you lose sight of the past. And there is so much truth in the past. And if you don't pay attention to the past and where you've been, you will repeat mistakes. That's just simple practical logic. You know, you end up like the girl in 50 First Dates, who is reliving the same day over and over and over again because she cannot remember, you know, what's happened to her since then. She's unable to form new memories. And that's what, you know, the purest form of progressivism is. And that's really sad. And we're seeing the rotten fruits of that now in the entertainment that we're getting today. That seems like a downer note, but I also want to, by communicating that, maybe that gets it out into the universe and we can start sharing these messages with people. I think a lot of people are doing that. And I do think there are a lot of people still in the entertainment industry that understand this and are starting to get that on straight. So I'm going to close this down here because I'm already right up against the clock here. You guys might have other videos that you want to get to, other streams that might be starting, and you might have to get back to work. So guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and I will have up a simulcast with Netters Network on tomorrow night to count down the new year on the East Coast and Central, and see if we can't hit that 100 members before year end. So guys, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. But one more comment before we go. I actually got my redneck husband to sit down and watch 50 First Dates with me. It's a great movie. It really is. I love that movie. I really do. Good. I hope he enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And I hope to see you tonight for the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And then return tomorrow for a very special last liquid lunch on last call for 2025. Take care, my friends. Stay hydrated, drink responsibly, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.